Alright guys, here we have a video. Who is Sampo really? This sparks my interest. I don't know really what to expect. I'm hoping there's some lore in there. Maybe he's got some good theories as to who the character is. This is by Central Finite Curve. This is obviously his most successful video, so let's check it out and see what it's about.
Sampo is one of those comic relief characters, at least that's how it first appears. He seems to only care about himself, will appear both good and distrustful depending on what suits him, and will often be doing something questionable each time you run into him.
I think he's secretly a mastermind.
Throughout most of our adventures in Belobog, he plays the part of the underworld fenceman, the guy you go to get something or to go somewhere. And for most of his journey, his unassuming personality and willingness to somewhat be pushed around kinda disarms you, making you think he's utterly harmless. That is until that really weird scene at the end where he appears in the main character's dreams or something and seems to even be talking to the players directly. What exactly happened in that scene and who really is Sampo Koski? Before we dive further into this mystery, if you want to see more Honkai style content, do consider subscribing to the channel.
I don't even know.
Full disclosure, this video isn't going to be
I don't think I noticed that he was in that vision.
An exhaustive explanation of Sampo's lore specifically, but just a discussion of that particular scene. So it might overlap a little bit with Sampo's lore overall. In that scene, we see Sampo communicating with some unseen figure.
Oh, it was a close thing, all right. Good thing it dawned on me. Hey, Sampo doesn't have to be a protagonist, right? The likes of us are better suited to, shadowy comic relief, eh? Turns out the Astral Express crew is more fun than I expected. You liked it? Really?
I don't remember this scene at all. Am I tripping?
Told you so. No, I'm in no hurry to leave.
Hey, what's up, Seed?
Oh, Epsilon? What fun can you get out of a giant Vanity Fair like that? True happiness always entails the manifestation of the dignity of mankind. Now, that's a quote I live by. Well, bye for now. Send my regards to the guys and girls in the tavern. Oh, and don't forget to say that Sampo Koski will catch them for the next one. Time to make my curtain call.
Dude, I literally don't even remember this scene. When was this?
To you, my dear audience, I dedicate my performance. I wonder, did I bring a little more joy into your lives?
This is why you don't rush the game. I could have sworn I paid attention to all cutscenes, but I literally don't remember this.
You don't have to answer that. But if the answer is no, then you'll break my heart.
Even though he passes himself off as someone native to Belobog, it seems that Sampo isn't truly from there, given he is well aware of the Astral Express and may have even been expecting them. At the end of his speech, he just thanks the audience, whoever that is, and hopes that everyone has enjoyed his performance. All in all, it's a pretty weird scene. Despite that, however, Sampo actually says a few things that may hint at who he is, or rather, which faction he truly belongs to. The first time I saw this cutscene, I honestly thought he was affiliated with the Stellaron Hunters and was some kind of spy keeping tabs on the main character and then updating Kafka.
Dude, Kafka is gorgeous. Please marry me.
But in his conversation with this unknown person, he actually says a few things that are quite telling. He first refers to their group as more suited to be the shadowy comic relief rather than the protagonist. He then mentions that he isn't in any hurry to leave Jarilo 4 and brings up Epsilon. He then tells the person on the other side to give his regards to those in the tavern, and finally, he thanks his audience and, most importantly, hopes he has brought some joy into their lives. Comic relief, Epsilon, tavern, and joy.
Okay.
All these things point to one thing. The
What?
intergalactic group known as the Masked Fools. The Masked Fools are a group who venerate the Eon of Elation, Aha, or Aha. I'm gonna say Aha. I'll talk about the Eon a little bit later, but the main goal of this group is really to just uphold the values of elation. Them, the universe is literally one big joke, and the ability to laugh at anything and everything while pursuing joy is a God-given right all sentient beings have and should enjoy. They often relegate themselves as comic relief, but can be rather extreme in achieving something as simple as a laugh. Epsilon is a location where the pop star Rick Lee is said to be from, and he mentions that despite the aloof nature of the Eon of Elation, even the masked fools sings its praises. He mentions that the members of this group venerate the Eon as it's said that AHA will never give you up, it'll never let you down, nor will it abandon you.
Oh my god, that's the fucking Rick Roll meme, dude.
If you think I'm making that up as some out-of-season rickroll, this is actually a part of the lore, and I can't be more serious.
Okay, hold on. Even an organization like the Masked Fools sing praises of their Aeon. Aeon will never give you... Yeah, okay.
It paints the picture as to what this group really stands for. The tavern is also something that relates directly to the Masked Fools, as their base of operations are often described to be in a tavern. They are also said to own and even operate some taverns across the galaxy. But of all these references, it is the call out to joy and happiness that solidifies the idea that Sampo is from this group, as this is all the Masked Fools live for. They only care about laughter and joy and think of nothing else. And in order
Okay, I mean, this all makes sense to me. It's totally believable that he's a part of this
to
group.
understand this further, we have to talk about the Eon of Elation, AHA. The Eon of Elation is weird to say the least. Of all the eons and all the paths that exist in the universe, this particular one stands out as somewhat of an outlier. The path of elation is concerned with only one thing: finding and spreading joy. This can be interpreted in any number of infinite ways, from doing something that makes you laugh to creating chaos throughout the galaxy because you felt like it. Those who follow this path are prone to swinging from one extreme.
It can be interpreted in a million ways because it's a matter of what you find joyful, right? And that can be, I mean, there's tons of bad guys who create chaos and all sorts of things because they find that to be joyful. So it's definitely how you interpret it. It could be either a force to, like a serious force to be reckoned with, right? And can be very dangerous, or the total opposite, depending on who is behind that mask, so to speak.
To the other, making them extremely dangerous and unpredictable. On the surface, the path of elation seems to be a simplistic ideal, but don't let that fool you into thinking that its Eon is exactly that. AHA is literally the embodiment of unpredictability and often would act purely on a whim. On one occasion, it had given its entire knowledge base and the power of its path to a worm, just to see if the worm could join the genius society. Just to frame this a
How does he know this?
little better, it gave knowledge amounting to almost godlike levels of information to a worm whose brain could barely comprehend speech.
Wow, it's kind of like my brain. But I guess there must be bits of, like, from the text in game, obviously, right? Is where he's pulling this information from.
At first, this may actually appear to be funny on the surface, almost like Sheogorath creating its shenanigans, for those of you who are familiar with the Elder Scrolls series. But as soon as the laughter dies out, the Eon just took all of these blessings away, causing the worm to die abruptly and rather tragically. Such are the whims of the Eon of Elation. Once the joke has been told and the punchline delivered, the resulting chaos or destroyed lives mean very little to it. Another instance of AHA's rather dangerous and intelligent nature could be seen during the Simulated Universe project, where it was the first program Eon to realize it was in a simulation. In fact, based on what Herta mentions, AHA seems to have figured this out numerous times before, despite the efforts of the project team to change its programming. Just from the behavior of its Eon, I think you might have a better picture now why the Masked Fools may be considered dangerous, as well as what their pursuits might entail. Sure, there may be some among them who just like to entertain and have fun, but make no mistake, their membership will likely be made up of those on the opposite extreme as well. So based on this understanding of the path of elation, I'm sure you can see how Sampo is likely a member of the Masked Fools given his actions. His
Yeah.
behavior is similar to
It
the
makes
Eon
sense.
that the masked fools venerate, and he seems to only be concerned with finding joy and being entertained. Now, in terms of motives, we could just chalk up Sampo's involvement with the Trailblazers as a one off thing. A simple explanation would be he was looking for some fun, and the involvement of an outside party in the deadlock politics of Belobog may have been sufficient to shake things up. But I think that there's more to this. If this faction is really as aloof as they appear, why the need for Sampo to report in? I think that in their search for fun and joy, the masked fools have found their latest catalyst, the Nameless and the Astral Express. By the end of this cutscene, the impression that I get is that at some point, we'll run into this faction again as they try to use the Nameless to create more fun situations for them.
Yeah, of course.
In any case, all these factors seem to imply that Sampo is at the very least affiliated with this intergalactic group and what the cutscene overall means. Whether we'll see Sampo in the future or perhaps some of its other friends will remain to be seen. I do think that groups such as these will oftentimes end up becoming a threat more than an ally. Even the Eon itself in the simulated universe has said that it was waiting on the Astral Express for Akavili to show up just to blow it up for fun. But that's basically all I can discern from this rather weird cutscene as well as Sampo's likely affiliations. I'll end the video here, and if you enjoyed it, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel.
So that's a pretty good video and a pretty good explanation as to, who Sampo is, I guess, or a pretty good insight or a hint as to who he's affiliated with and things like that. And of course, we're definitely going to run into this group again. And I bet you anything, just like most anti-hero kind of groups or anti-hero characters, they're going to be more trouble than they are help, unless, they're probably going to be causing problems throughout the whole thing. And then towards the end, our interests align, and then they will help out in the end, something like that, right? That's going to be the gist of that group, if I had to guess. I liked the video. He did a good job. So if you guys like this video, you like this reaction, let me know by giving it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, join in our Discord down below, and let me know if you'd like me to react to anything else, and I'll see you guys in the next video.